All right, you guys, Dave Mad Max 6. We are at Dave Fisher's Powerhouse in Torrance, California, and I got some blood from out of town. Dorian Haywood with his coach Dave Kalick. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
What's up, guys?
All right, so Dorian, last time I saw you, you looked a lot different. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were at Goals.
Uh-huh.
How many weeks was that from this show?
Shoot, I think we were just getting ready to come out of the off season.
Yeah.
And start the
Yeah.
prep.
You were just starting your prep, yeah.
And prep for 2 different shows that were postponed due to the COVID situation.
Yeah.
But now here we are 3 weeks out from Tampa.
Boom.
And I always try to come in, just get away from my town and do a little training camp with Coach here.
Yeah.
To kind of tune up and make sure everything's right. So here we are at Dave Fisher's Powerhouse Gym, and Dave's going to try to crush me.
All right.
We're gonna hit some shoulders and arms and get at it.
All right. So shoulders and arms.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? We'll talk more in the end and stuff. But I'm curious to see what some of the changes you're going to do. First of all, you have no hair.
Uh-huh.
Looks good look for you. So that's a change. How much do you weigh right now? I'm just curious.
Probably right around 250.
250?
And I'm pretty
Okay.
empty being at 250.
Okay.
If I wanted to, I could bounce up 265, no problem.
All right. Well, first impression, you look great. So.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So Dave is telling me, wait till we're done training arms and shoulders because it'll look a lot different than this. So pay attention, people. All right.
We'll see
We'll
you
get
guys
in there.
soon.
All right.
We'll see you guys in a bit. Pick it up. 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 We're gonna work through 6. 1, 5, 4. Let's swing it. Let's go. You got 5. 5. There you go. Last 5. Pick it up. Pick it up.
All right, guys. Dave Mad 6 with IFBB Pro Dorian Haywood, Dave Kalick, coach extraordinaire. So, Dorian, I wanna. This is actually the first full interview we actually get a chance to do with you. We get you on the channel a couple of times, here and there, but this is actually the first time we get to see you train for a full workout. And I just wanted to let people know a little bit more about you. You have an interesting story. You told me you passed pro in 2016, but you also have a real job. You're actually a doctor, chiropractor in Colorado, which is unusual for people in bodybuilding, IFBB pros, to have a full job. And so I kind of want to talk a little bit about your journey in the sports, and tell me a little bit how you started. You said so 2016. It's only 4 years ago you gave a pro card, but how long have you been practicing chiropractic, and why did you decide to actually further your career as a pro? And take me back a little bit.
Okay, well, let's talk about chiropractic a little bit.
Yep.
Actually, today marks the 10-year anniversary for me moving to Colorado. So I've been living in Colorado 10 years.
Where were you before?
I got my doctorate down in Florida, at Palmer College of Chiropractic in Florida.
Okay.
And I've been practicing chiropractic pretty much ever since.
How old were you when you started practicing?
So 10 years ago, I'm about to turn 38 this month. So
Okay.
28 when I started practicing.
Okay, so you went to school in
27,
Florida,
28.
and then you moved. Why did you move to Colorado?
It's just one of those things. Towards the end of a chiropractic college, I just set out a map of the U.S. And I'm like, where do I want to go? So I researched 10 places, and Denver's where I landed.
So you're okay dealing with the snow after Florida?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I prefer that over Florida's humidity,
Really?
old people, and bugs. But as for bodybuilding, I've been doing this a really long time. I actually started as an underweight wrestler. I was wrestling in the 103-pound class in high school.
Okay.
At about 87 pounds my freshman year.
Really?
In my sophomore year, that's when I started weight training, and I finally broke 100 pounds. Then after a full year of weight training, my junior year, I went to state championships, and I actually had to cut down to make the weight class. But I was reading Flex magazines back then to kind of formulate what I needed to do to train properly and eat properly. And after I got a scholarship to wrestle, I ended up dropping out of that college because I didn't want to wrestle anymore. I wanted to educate myself. And that's when I took on bodybuilding full time. So
How old were you then?
So I graduated in 2000.
Okay.
My first bodybuilding contest was in 2000.
Okay.
So this marks 20 years of competitive bodybuilding for me, even though I've been a pro for only just over 4.
And how old are you now?
I'm going to turn 38 on the 30th of
Okay,
this month.
so you're in your
July.
prime. You're in your prime right now.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I was always kind of a late bloomer in life, based off of what I just told you with my weight and everything associated with wrestling. So I think I've been kind of behind on the biological clock, and I think I'm just approaching my prime. I don't even think I've hit it yet.
That's true.
Yeah,
I seem to be getting better and denser and stronger every year.
38 to 42.
Thanks to this guy.
Yeah, yeah. When did you guys actually hook up and start working together?
Right
Dave?
after the 2015 North Americans, Russ Allen introduced us.
Yeah.
And I got a bad placement after winning junior nationals the year before. I think I finished like 11th or 12th there at that show, and I was just kind of at my wit's end. You know, I needed somebody to help me, and I was lucky enough to run into him, and we just almost have a spiritual connection. Though we see things so like-minded. We work well as a team too.
That's important.
It was really cool. The chemistry we had together, working together, is great. I mean, like the first show we did together was the USA the following year. He cracked second. They pulled him and Rashid, the big monster, out, and that was very exciting to see him go for, jump a weight class.
Yeah.
And to see him back in the mix was fantastic. And then there's the North Americans. We got third there, and then at that point in time we thought maybe let's shut it down for the year. But then we figured, you know what?
I was already in shape.
Yeah, already in shape. Nationals a couple months away, and we kept going, and we grabbed it there, and that was a great win.
So 2016 national, super heavy, I'm assuming.
Super heavyweight national.
What did you weigh there?
championship.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I was right around 240, 239.
Okay.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
So today we just jumped on the salary about 251 right now, and I have to say, I always see you. You always come to Golds before each contest to work with Dave, obviously, and stuff. And so I've been seeing you throughout the years, and I got to say, this is the best I've ever seen you. I'm not just saying this because we're shooting right now, but it's kind of nice to see the progression. And we just came out of quarantine. Yeah. Imagine.
You know what? There's this saying, or maybe I came up with saying is that the success of the off season dictates the success of Precontest.
Of course.
And ironically, so this was his longest duration of an off season. And I estimate he actually was able to put on 9 to 11 pounds of actual real tissue, like on the scale tissue.
Yeah.
And I think that gave us a great metabolic momentum going into this prep, because he was able to diet on a higher calorie base, and we didn't need to take calories down drastically low to get into that depletion, and so his body just been doing this on his own. And with this extra tissue, it gave us a lot of tools, a lot of flexibility to work with in terms of caloric structure. And whether we're in surplus or a deficit, the extra muscle gave us a lot of groundwork, ground to play with.
But also, Dorian, we were talking off camera, and I was asking you, how you were able to deal with the quarantine, were you able to train, and you're telling me, right when this whole thing happened, you actually put your whole gym together in your garage in about 3 days, got everything you needed, so you were actually able to not skip a beat during the entire quarantine. I'm sure that helped a lot.
Yeah, I was super proactive about it. I knew I needed to do something to be able to accommodate my own training and help some other people that I work with.
Yeah.
And within a couple of days, I had a bodybuilder gym, or a gym in my garage. I was able to accommodate a professional bodybuilder.
Nice.
And I didn't miss a beat. If anything, I was overtrained in that time.
Because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah, just walk down the stairs and there you go.
You ran into some issues with the health department in Colorado. They found out you were training.
Social media and stuff. If I posted something, I was getting complaints randomly from somebody online, and they were calling into the health department. And I had them show up twice.
Karens.
Yeah, they were.
That's the name of
That's right. Female Karens.
Yeah.
But I didn't get fined, and I really didn't have to shut things down on too low of a capacity. I didn't have to stop training by any means. And the whole thing blew over, and there really didn't seem to be any issues. So it was nothing but a positive experience.
We were also saying that, because of these times, it's really hard to actually prep for a specific show. You actually were prepping for 2 shows before this one, and of course they didn't happen because they keep being rescheduled. So, but it actually turned out to be a good thing, and tell me why.
Yeah, I think, last time I saw you was right after the turn of the year, so early January.
Right.
And we decided pretty much at that point we needed to turn things down and start bringing the calorie structure down and start getting ready and getting our body composition where we need to be competitive. For May 10th Indy, then May 22nd, I think, which would have been in Puerto Rico. So I was getting ready for both of those.
Okay.
And when we were about 6 weeks out, Indy got canceled. So, I was in 6 week out conditioning. So I just kind of had to hold that. So for me to get in shape for Tampa, I didn't have to lose very much weight, and I didn't have to go to 2 drastic measures.
Yeah, we took advantage of a little rebound after that. He was very lean after that prep, presumably for the May shows were canceled.
Yeah.
So we were able to take advantage of it. We had a winter period where we could really upscale calories
A month, yeah.
Yeah, like
4 weeks we kept our calories above 4,000.
revolumize up, and then from there we started breaking off into our pre-contest. So we were in a good state to begin with, helped.
So the fact that you actually had to extend your diet a little bit actually made it easier because you didn't have to kill him in the end. He was already there.
We used it to our advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
And because we were lean this whole time, we were able to, again, diet on a higher calorie structure, which of course keeps size and density. And he's able to progress. Ironically, his body parts actually progressed since January because we were staying in
striking distance.
In striking distance, and able again to have these flexibility with food and everything.
So he's been dieting over 7 months now.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a while, and even though I've been in the caloric negative, I haven't been what I call deep water or the red zone too much during this entire prep.
Yeah.
Maybe the past 2 weeks we got into it a few times because I wanted to be in shape for this event.
Right.
And I'm 3 weeks.
You mean
out,
for today?
Yeah.
Well, plus he comes into town. He likes to show. We like to be like a couple weeks out. I mean, basically, there's certain I look at there's
milestones in the prep. This is one of them.
We look at things in 3 week increments. You know what I mean? 3 weeks out from the show, from today, literally, and again, a lot of flexibility, staying in striking distance. We're able to diet on higher calories. So as you were saying, he's in the red zone, but not like where you're like
not critical.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not critical. Yeah. So we saw you pose. I mean, obviously you look very impressive when you train and stuff, but when you actually pose without the tank top and everything, that's when everything you can actually already judge. And so Dave Fisher was there training some people. He actually took the time to stop training his people to come over and see how was that. Was that kind of cool?
That's really as cool as it gets. If you can come into a gym that you've never been to before and automatically, influence the population of the people around you, that's powerful. So, I mean, it's really an honor for Dave to be able to host this for us so we can come in here and train. Hey, and, to be able to gather the people. I mean, some of these people who gathered around me, I've never seen them in my life.
I know. That was great.
For them to be
had an
impressed
audience.
by me, I think that's a real honor and it's an awesome thing associated with bodybuilding.
It's funny you say that you brought that up, Dave, because it kind of reminds us of the like the 70s, when someone come to Golds and they start posing and like they're all about it. So it felt like a bodybuilding community. That's the best way to say.
It is.
Yeah, great energy in that gym.
Yeah, it's awesome.
First time being here.
So you're happy for me suggesting it?
Yes, thank you very much. And I really appreciate you having us and hosting us.
Yeah, I'm tapping, tapping my own back. There you go.
No, it's good because we've always just been like Golds or filming at Denver, so it's good to get out and different.
It's always nice to go to new places too. There's different kinds of energy. Every place is different. Every place got their own, pros and cons. But well, Dorian, I'm glad you came today, and I'm actually very impressed with you, I gotta say, for your constant improvement every year. And you've always had great legs. We know that, great legs, great glutes, great hamstrings and stuff. But I think finally now your upper body is catching up to your wheels, and I think it's probably the best balance it's been.
Thanks,
since
I
know you.
Conditions right there, and I think you'll do really well in Tampa. I can't wait to see how you do over there. 3 more weeks.
Yeah, man.
Nothing but elbow grease on his part. The improvements that's from work ethic right there. That's nothing but work ethic.
Yeah. So do you still? We were talking a little bit about that on camera too. Do you still get a lot of time to train your not to train, but to work on your clientele? And is it harder when you prep, or tell me a bit?
Oh, it's much harder when I prep.
Yeah.
I find my capacity for dealing with patients, I really limit and almost cut down my chiropractic work to nothing. It's just I don't feel very sympathetic with people, and I want to be able to give somebody 100%. And if I can't give them 100%, sometimes I'd rather not give them anything. But I do find there's a fine balance. Even if I'm starving with zero energy, like at the very end of my prep, I do like going into work for like 2-3 hours a day and working with groups of people. I'll train 2 or 3 people at a time for 3 hours in a row. It's very productive for me. It keeps me away from food. It also helps me be able to contribute to the people I'm working with in my community. It's just a positive thing all around for me and my mental well-being in that state. So I really appreciate the people that I train with because they've got good, positive, progressive energy. However, sometimes when patients come into me and they're just like, "Oh doc," I'm like,
they're sucking your energy.
I'm the one suffering here. and like I said, I want to be able to be sympathetic towards that. And I don't see too many patients.
Hey, imagine being that mad where you go a little too aggressive with the crack of the neck.
Oops.
I'm hungry.
Dorian, how can people reach you if they want to get advice from you or work with you or give your social media and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Fit Pro Dorian Haywood on Instagram. I'm Dorian Haywood DC on Facebook. Feel free to reach out, give me a message, follow me. Love to hear what you have to say or any questions from you.
Awesome. Dave, give your info on Instagram.
Hey guys, you want to get in touch with me? You can hit me at Dave Kalick, DaveKalick. Instagram or Facebook. You can also email me at Yahoo, Dave Kalick at Yahoo. Thanks, guys.
All right. Guys, best of luck in 3 weeks, and thanks for being on JTV for
Thanks.
the very real first time.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.